I think this would be a good time to talk a little bit about OR. I think it's optimum risk estimates, and we've got a graph, and I want to bring that up. And I would just, if you could just walk us through, sort of. I mean, obviously, well, you wrote a book on it, so it could be it could be quite extensive, but just on the base level of what this graph is telling us about the methodology Riskope is using.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, the methodology, as you can see from the graph, is a continuous loop. You start from the
Mm-hmm.
top left, where you basically have the data gathering or the knowledge base building block. And that knowledge base nowadays can be performed by using standard procedures, so reports, inspection reports, and so forth, monitoring, but very importantly, and we're really getting specialized in this, integrating space observation in our knowledge base and using it in the risk assessment. Uh, we could write a book on space observation applied to risk assessment, so let's skip that.
Fair enough.
Then in the middle, you have the area where we are actually evaluating consequences, evaluating probabilities, and at the end of this, we distill the risks. If we go farther around the circle or around the rectangle there, then we put together the societal and corporate tolerance for our client, and we put together now the probabilities, the consequences, and the tolerance, and that allows us to determine which risks are intolerable. But not only, it allows us to say that there might be risks that are intolerable and manageable, so it's a matter of injecting money, and there are risks that might be intolerable and unmanageable, and those are the strategic risks actually. And those risks require modification of the system itself.
Right.
Okay. So in the mining industry, we have clients that have changed processes that used very hazardous material to solve a problem linked to strategic risks. Or in the tailings field, it would mean to perhaps remove the population that is downstream of a dam, or build a second level of defense downstream of the main dam. I mean, there is a whole pantry, if you allow me using that term, of ideas and concepts that can be applied in order to solve every single category of risks. So tactical risks, the one that is intolerable and manageable, and strategic risks that are the ones that are intolerable and non-manageable. So at the end of the day, once we have distilled the final results, so all these risks and all their categories, we can actually then support our client in making decisions. And those decisions will then lead to better communication of the risk, environmental protection, risk reduction in general, and so forth. And with that, we are back to square one. And as time progresses, we will have to perform some kind of update of the risk assessment. So basically, that closes the OR loop.